So, um, this is not gonna be an exciting episode of Simon Says Wrestling. It's not. Um, anyway, welcome to the channel, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. So on my way back home, I'm sitting and I'm thinking, what is the direction of the WWE right now? Um, what are we, what are we actually doing? What is the plan with TKO? What's going on with Triple H, what's going on with the talent, what's going on with the backstage politics, what's going on with the shows that we've been getting recently. And I just don't know what the company is aiming for now. I just don't know what we're going towards, what we're trying to build, or what we're doing with the superstars and the stories that we've obviously been trying to tell for the past 2 years. First, I want to address the whole Triple H issue. I understand that he is the COO and he's head of creative. So obviously that means he's an employee of the company and he works for someone. I would suspect that someone is Nick Khan. That's what I would suspect. That's who he answers to, and that's who he pitches every final plan or final pitch to Nick Khan. And I think that Nick Khan would obviously be the one to give it a go, give it a yes, or give it a no. As head of creative, there's a lot of things that I can point at and that I can just utterly shit on when it comes to Triple H. I'm sorry for the language. It's just that there's a lot going on right now and it feels like it's becoming really unbearable to watch the product at this point in time. So obviously a lot of the bucket of shit will obviously go to Triple H because he's the face. He's the one they put in front of us to try and explain and calm down every situation that seems to be happening. And as of late, there's a lot of situations happening. There's a lot of things that I can say that Triple H is not perfect at, and then I can say that he is not yet mastered or perfected. But I remember when Triple H took over creative and you could feel the change in the air. You could feel how things were starting to become a bit better. The product was becoming more watchable, more enjoyable, more relatable, and at a point in time, it was so great that you would anticipate what would be happening in the next episode. You would be getting small clues in episodes, superstars interacting with each other backstage, promos, teasers with matches between Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, you name the lights, and you would actually have at like such a great peak of interest. And I can shit on Triple H for a lot of things. I can shit on him with the booking, with the matches of the superstars that he has acquired in the past couple of years. Obviously, this being with Rusev, Aleister Black, Andrade. What is the plan with these guys? What are we doing? Are we just going to have them keep having matches on SmackDown on random Friday nights, or are we actually going to start building storylines to support these people's characters? And as you would imagine, there's a lot of characters, there's a lot of history with the three people that I just named that we could actually be doing a lot of. No disrespect to Selena Vega, but at this point in time, her run as the is she the second United States Women's United States Championship has been utterly shit. There is no pop, there is no reaction to her. I think the sooner they get that title off of her, the better. She would be better just teamed up with Andrade. Obviously, she can interfere in Andrade's match to help him build him to a certain level where Andrade can either win that United States champion or the Intercontinental Championship. Because clearly, Zelina has given it her all. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to say, but she's not living up to the hype. We were all cheering for her because she's the baby face that we know has had a hard time coming up in the WWE. And on a normal day, I would never, and I mean ever, put down any effort that any wrestler puts into giving a character or giving the United States or giving a title or giving a storyline. But we have to come into reality and face facts of the fact that Zelina Vega is not living up to what we all thought it would be at this point. And it's fine. She tried, she gave it her all. It's just not working. How is he planning to elevate these superstars? How is he planning on elevating people that he has brought into the company? There's no storylines with these guys. They're just having matches, trying to qualify for Money in the Bank, going to Money in the Bank, basically being used as props. Like, no story. Andrade went into Money in the Bank. There is no story for Andrade coming out of Money in the Bank. LA Knight went into Money in the Bank. There is no story for LA Knight coming out of Money in the Bank. And honestly, congrats to Seth Rollins. I'll get to him in a few minutes. But LA Knight, what is the plan with LA Knight? What are we actually waiting on now? Are we waiting on LA Knight to, I don't know, hit the clock in where he goes into his 50s, 45s before we put a heavyweight championship on him? I believe personally this was the right time to crown LA Knight Mr. Money in the Bank, to have him elevated into that main event scene. Guy already has merchandise sales throughout the roof. Not the number one seller, but merchandise sales. The pop that he gets in every arena, every city, in any country at any time. Mic skills out of this world, in-ring skills out of this world. You might even call him generic. You might even call him a combination of The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But at the end of the day, this guy is literally just putting in everything that he has in the middle of that ring. Why is he not getting the push that we all deserve, that we all believe he deserves? I don't understand. We had El Grande Americano. Obviously, he's having his feud with luchadors. It's fine. So he'll have all of that. Seth Rollins won the match. So obviously, going down the line, it's either we're going to have CM Punk costing him Money in the Bank. So what was the use of him winning it in the first place? If we're going to have CM Punk or Roman Reigns return to obviously ambush him and then jeopardize his whole cash-in, what was the whole point of having Seth Rollins win that match? The only logical thing that made sense in this Money in the Bank match would have been LA Knight winning it and obviously elevating himself into the stratosphere and being a world heavyweight champion or a universal championship. Whether they give him that, he runs with it, fails or succeeds, it'll obviously be up to him. But we cannot keep hoping that LA Knight is obviously going to get his shot to shine going forward when he's given and putting in all the work going like 2 to 3 years back. This guy's been getting pops. This guy's been getting attraction, and I'm sure his merchandise is selling. So what is it about LA Knight that we're not appreciating or trying to give to him? King of the Ring. What does King of the Ring actually mean in this day and age? Does the winner of the King of the Ring actually get a championship match to the brand in which they are? What is the... If we're going to have King of the Ring, we need to understand what that opponent or what that individual is actually going to get after winning the King of the Ring. It can't just be a crown and then you have a gimmick and then all of a sudden we refer to you as King LA Knight. No, it has to have something. If they can give that to LA Knight, then by all means, why are we still having Money in the Bank? Why are we still having Money in the Bank if all the people that are winning the Money in the Bank are just at the end of the day going to end up losing it or cashing in on something that we're not even used to? Austin Theory at some point cashed in the Money in the Bank on the Intercontinental Championship. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why do we still have certain events if we don't know how we're going to capitalize and use them? Cool. Solo Sokoa, at this point in time, I'm enjoying the shenanigans. I'm enjoying the comedic. But what happened to taking over the roster and bringing every championship to the family? Is every group and every fraction that's going to be made in the WWE at this point in time going to turn into a faction that's made to dominate the roster? Then slowly we add in that comedic effect and then we start turning each and every member against each other to build baby faces and heels out of that group. When are we actually going to have a group that's going to dominate the roster that they're on? When are we going to have... I'm not saying replicate the Shield, but when are we going to have a group similar to what the Shield had done? Attack legends, attack active rosters, have the whole roster actually be afraid of you. You have Seth Rollins now, who has Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. For some reason, we're still booking these groups like it's the 1980s. We're still booking this group to a point where the babyface comes out, the heels start going up the ramp to intercept, but the babyface comes from the back, attacks the leader, hits a run, and then heads out. Why can't we book these groups in such a way that we don't make them look weak in any sense? You have, a live human cannonball in Braun Breaker, explosive, talented, young, and was the Intercontinental Championship at some point. So what have we reduced Braun Breaker to now? we've reduced him to Seth Rollins' hitman. Is this group the future, or is this Seth Rollins' stepping stone? The future in that group is actually Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I don't know. Give them something. Give them, I don't know, give them the tag titles. Give one of them the Intercontinental Championship. Give them the United States. I don't know. Give the two guys that are actually the future of this company something to fight with. Now, the faction, at some point, we all know they're going to turn on each other. So when are they going to turn on each other? We all just now not even getting to the point where they dominate the roster. They mention it, that commentators say it every night, that the whole roster should be afraid of. Why should they be afraid? Because the only people that they're beefing with is obviously CM Punk and Roman Reigns eventually when he comes back. I don't understand why we keep building factions to then turn them into a comedic. Yes, we do need comedic relief now and then, but if you have a faction as big and as bold as Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, and like at this point in time flanked by Paul Heyman, and I don't understand why Paul Heyman at this point in time hasn't made it clear that he is buying into Seth Rollins' vision. Not Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is not a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman is a Seth Rollins guy. So why is it not Paul Heyman getting orders from Seth Rollins? Instead, now we're having Seth Rollins being told to Paul Heyman saying that they should acknowledge Seth Rollins. Now it just seems like we're belittling Seth Rollins and just intertwining him with Roman Reigns all the time. We're comparing him to a lot of people that we actually forget that Seth Rollins in himself can be an entity and we can build a show around this guy. We've done it before. We've done it when he was the Kingslayer. So why do we not build that whole show around him? If you're going to have this group and you're going to have this faction, it needs to dominate. It needs to run rampage on the whole roster. We don't have to have the typical story where we start seeing cracks. 2 weeks from now, we could start seeing cracks between Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and we already know we're going to have a match for the ages, instead of focusing on the fact that Survivor Series is just around the corner. You have Seth Rollins, you have Braun Breaker, you have Bronson Reed. You could easily put in another two men to face another brand. Like, let's go back to the traditional Survivor Series that we were used to. Because at this point in time, War Games just feel like bloodline games. It just feels like Roman Reigns is going to team up with 4 people that are going to fight another adversary. That I'm tired of seeing War Games. Can we go back to the brand splits? That's what I'm saying, that at this point in time, the company has no vision. It has no direction as to where it's going. It has its favorite superstars. It has its obviously fan favorite, who for some reason our fan favorites, like our favorites as fans, don't even get to have the slightest of day. Shout out to Naomi. She deserves the Money in the Bank. I understand the decision that was made, and I understand that not every decision that will be made in the company will be for me to understand and enjoy, but make it make sense for me to start to say, oh, okay, the reason why they're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is actually to make this and that make sense. But nothing that they're doing with superstars in the roster actively, with people that are over with the WWE universe, nothing they're doing actually makes like flipping sense at this point in time. I don't know who to blame. I don't know who to blame. Must I blame Triple H? Must I blame TKO? Must I blame the creative team? Must I blame us as the audience for pulling the company in so many directions that we, at the end of the day, don't know what we want from the company? Because it seems like at this point in time, I could blame the fans, but the fans have made their voices very clear as to what they want with the company. They've said who they want to have over in the company. They've said who they've seen so many times at the top there, and maybe it's time for them to actually go down a notch and then actually start building their character up from the top. People like Rhea Ripley. What is Rhea Ripley's direction now? Is she just gonna be mentioned in every single women's heavyweight championship match going forward? Shout out to the fact that they actually have Charlotte Flair now in a feud. It's not even a feud, it's more of a storyline, more of hints of Alexa Bliss actually trying to tell her that without friends, you're not going to get any. So for the first time, we're getting Charlotte Flair out of a comfort zone of being the queen, the prize, the prestige, the highest of the accolades in all of this and all of that, and actually interacting and intertwining with someone that can tell a story in Alexa Bliss. Shout out to that. I'll always shout out the positive that's happening, but the negative seems so much that it's overshadowing every single fucking thing that's happening on this show. Like at a point in time, the reason why I started actually getting so angry, getting so frustrated at everything that I'm seeing on TV, and starting to actually question every single little thing that's happening on TV is this moment that we had with our truth at Money in the Bank. Obviously, in the tag team match with John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Jey Uso fucked himself up, so he's obviously not going to be ready for the match tonight with Gunther. Is he losing the title because he was in a tag team match that didn't need to happen? Why did it happen? Why did... it's fine. John Cena came out, explained to Jey Uso that the last time they saw each other was the fact that when... Cool. But why did we need to have a tag team match with two world heavyweight champions in a tag team match? It would have been better if you told me that with John Cena versus Jey Uso, or is it something that we're saving for Survivor Series, or is it even going to happen at this point in time, or is Gunther just going to retain the title? What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we making decisions 5 minutes before the show just to get that reaction? There is no reaction. It's just a whole lot of confusion. R-Truth was released from the company. That's number one. Blindsided. Nobody saw it coming. R-Truth basically announced it on social media, verified the fact that it is happening, and he has been released by the company. No warning whatsoever. Last time we saw R-Truth, before this whole announcement was made, he was having a match with John Cena. If this company is saying that it is as much of a work as Triple H claimed it to be, which I'll get to in a minute, why didn't we have a championship versus career match? Why didn't John Cena come out and say, you know what, Truth, you interfered in my match last week. I don't want people like you enabling these fans coming and thinking that they deserve a piece of this glory. I want you to put your career on the line, and I'll put my title on the line, and we can have a match. If I win, that is Cena, he retains the championship and R-Truth leaves. R-Truth becomes a better human being, starts to believe that John Cena can be rescued, and starts bringing himself back into the fray, interfering in Cena's matches, sending him, stalking him, and then obviously at some point having him rehired into the company so that John Cena can beat him down once and for all, end his career, and then we write R-Truth off. We understand that his contract has come to an end, and in some way or the other, he's not coming back to the company. Cool, we get that. It makes sense. Okay, he was beaten down by John Cena. He obviously ended his career and he can't come back from a severe injury. R-Truth is written off, appears in TNA, appears in whatever promotion that he can come and appear in. And then we understand that, okay, his contract came up. It wasn't renewed. But instead, what we get told is the fact that R-Truth is not only released, we didn't see it coming. Now, all of a sudden, R-Truth is back and he's now feuding, obviously going to be feuding with John Cena going forward. Where does that leave Cody Rhodes in retaining the Universal Championship? Is R-Truth now the person that we believe is going to take the title off of Cena, or is he going to stand? We've got 6 months with Cena now. We've got 6 months left with John Cena. What are we doing in this next 6 months that is going to make this run memorable? Because all it is, it's been speed humps left, right, and center. It's not a bold fraud involving himself and then just all of a sudden changing and turning his back on the story, saying, no, it didn't need me at this point in time. It's weird decisions that we keep hearing of, and it was made public. We can't expect to be told that this thing is a work when at this point in time, it wasn't even a work. This was a reaction that a company had to fans suddenly chanting that one person's name. It's almost like when Daniel Bryan got his YesOmania moment. They didn't want to give it to Daniel Bryan. They made it impossible for Daniel Bryan to get into that spot, but the fans took over the show. So do we as fans need to take over each and every show, each and every decision, each and every superstar, so that it can actually reach these people's ears? Triple H, I have to give him a shout out. He's always active on social media. There is no way that he doesn't see that people actually believe in LA Knight, that LA Knight deserves this opportunity. And even without the people, the amount of work that this guy has placed into his art and into the craft that he is in today, why are we not giving him that opportunity? Why are we not giving him what is deserved of him? What more does he need to do? Are they listening to us, or are they just listening to us and deciding to do everything opposite as to what we're saying? There is no direction in the company right now. All the company cares about now is the sponsors. Sponsors get more of an attraction than most of the top superstars in that locker room that we deserve we feel deserve that spotlight. Karrion Kross. I mean, Karrion Kross at this point in time is basically one of the most over faces and one of the most over characters in the WWE. But he's not getting television time. Instead, I'm getting television time to a Slim Jim step ladder that is being introduced by Chad Gable that El Grande is probably gonna use. Shout out to Chad Gable, the fact that he's also putting in double the work. He's showing up on AAA, showing up on WWE as well. Different characters, kayfabe aside, characters aside, shout out to Chad Gable. If Chad Gable at the end of this run doesn't get a title around his waist, then ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the fuck we're doing in this company. I honestly do not know where we're going. If a man is willing to put his body on the line for 2 nights in a row, in hectic matches between a AAA top class luchador in Vikingo, and then once again go into the Money in the Bank, obviously physically demanding match as he's taking a toll. What are we doing? What are we doing with the superstar? What stories are we telling? Do we have a direction for Cody Rhodes? Bet you we don't. Jey Uso, what's his story after tonight's match? Is he going to retain the title? And even after he retains the title, where is he going? Where is his focus? Who is his next opponent? What's going on? Seth Rollins obviously is going to be having his eye on Jey Uso, but we can't then have Jey Uso just patiently waiting for Seth Rollins to cash in. We need to have an ongoing storyline for these guys. It's almost like these guys are planning shows for like the week that's coming, and then after that we ball it. We just see what's going to happen. We take it, and then obviously ticket sales need to be through the roof. We need to make, and if ticket sales fail, let's just call Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm sure he'll come through and fuck everything else up for us. What is the direction of the WWE? I'm hating the fact that I'm watching this product that I've been enjoying for the past 2 to 3 years. Dude, we survived 2019 with Vince McMahon. And all these people online that keep saying they want Vince back. If you want Vince, you do not deserve to be watching wrestling. If you think that at this point in time that if Vince comes back to this company, he's going to offer anything positive or anything close to what we've been having for the past 2 years, then you've lost your fucking mind. I cannot be talking to you. Vince needs to stay the hell away from WWE. Vince McMahon, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, TKO at this point in time for me are in the same fraction. They just need to fuck off, go back, let Triple H do what he needs to do, and then obviously dominate the way that he did. Dude, Triple H got so many eyes back into the WWE. A lot of people online are saying that Triple H didn't bring up any storylines. He just picked up where Vince McMahon left. Do you know where Vince McMahon left off? Do you guys remember where this guy left off? Go watch wrestling WWE Raw 2019. I think it was the first WrestleMania that Triple H had a part of. Like a slight, like he had a little bit of pull in that WrestleMania. Go watch the Monday Night Raw after that, where Seth Rollins came out, lights went off, TV went to commercial, came back, Seth Rollins wasn't in the ring, it was someone else. Nothing made sense. Repetitive matches, repetitive narratives, just repetitive shit one way through the other. I do not want Vince back in this company. I do not want Dwayne. And I feel like there's this weird feeling like at the back of my neck that just keeps saying Vince and Dwayne are still working together to try and get Triple H out. In the media, the way Triple H is being portrayed. Now all of a sudden you have ex-WWE superstars that claiming that Triple H is, I don't, basically in the layman's term, racist. The fact that all his top superstars are white. And the time, okay, this is MVP. This was an interview with an MVP head and claimed the fact that he doesn't want to call Triple H names, but insinuated the fact. Sorry about that. So now we've got people like R-Truth, not even R-Truth. You see, I'm so heated up today. People like MVP insinuating the fact that Triple H is racist. Okay, what is it with these people that actually leave the WWE, go to other companies, and then all of a sudden find it so easy for them to speak about the experiences that were happening in that company? Why didn't you speak about those happenings in that company? You've got bums from smaller companies coming through comparing professional wrestling to fast food restaurants. I mean, you can't even, you know what? I literally have tried my best to leave AEW out of my videos, but I'm starting to see this trend where each and every superstar in AEW, give them 2 weeks, They don't even take 2 weeks to speak up ill or badly about the WWE. My guy, focus on your product, grow your product, grow your audience, and then you can start taking shots when you guys are on either the same level, same playing field, or you guys have surpassed it. But for a lower tier company to be taking shots at a company that's doing so progressively well, it's not even about you eating a Big Mac, because Ricochet at this point in time is a WWE cheerleader. He tweets more about WWE than he does about AEW. Will Ospreay talks more about WWE than he does AEW, but he's in AEW. Let's stick to which company we're at, speak about that company, let it be, support your company. And if you have a problem with fans from that company, address the fan. Don't address the company. Address the fan. If you have a problem with the fans, tell them, you know what, this is not for you, please don't watch it. This is not for you, please don't watch it. Every time they keep taking jabs at the company they came from, it's not helping your career in any way. All you're going to do is be interacting on social media with us as fans, and you're going to start basically naming things like, you guys haven't stepped a day in the ring, you guys haven't done this, you guys haven't. But when we hit back and start saying the fact that you should actually start focusing more on your character development and mic skills than tweeting more, it would be a whole lot better. Imagine if everybody just focused on their company. Imagine if somebody focused on their character. Imagine if somebody just focused on things that would make them better. Not clapbacks on social media. Clapbacks are not going to get you viewers. They're not going to get your attendance rate up. They're not going to fill up arenas. They're not going to fill up stadiums. It's what you give to the audience. And at this point in time, this is why I'm shitting on the product that I watch. Sorry for Ricochet and Will Ospreay catching strays, but at the end of the day, I'm focusing on the company that I watch. What is our direction? Is TKO actually a disease or something that we should have actually recalculated the moment that it said that Vince McMahon was the reason why TKO came on board? And to be honest, the guy still has shares in that company. He's not all the way out. Anytime, anywhere, Vince McMahon could just pop up this ugly head and he could still have control over it. And Triple H would be done. Because I can guarantee you one thing. When you deal with people like Vince McMahon, Triple H's job is definitely in danger. Son-in-law or not. Triple H, if Vince McMahon steps one more foot, like if he even steps the slightest, if he even breathes in the direction of the WWE, Triple H is out. Maybe that's their big plan. Maybe they're trying to get Triple H out, discrediting his character. And I do not understand how we can say that Triple H is racist when he was trying to promote one of the biggest black female superstars in Bianca Belair, and we, the fans, started to boo her. I do not understand. Fans react to things and they expect that nothing will happen. When you react to a certain superstar, this is what The Miz said back in a promo with John Cena and Roman Reigns. You guys do not know whether to boo or cheer for these two men. Who do you think that affects? It doesn't affect Roman Reigns. It doesn't affect John Cena. It affects The Miz. It affects the lower superstar who's actually getting a reaction. But because these people keep getting these reactions day in, day out without even putting in half of the work, we are all like, this video is such a mess. I understand this video, but I'm so frustrated in the fact that WWE at this point in time does not have a direction. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking things. Maybe I've been spending too much time on the internet. But I feel like this company, TKO, WWE, does not have a direction. The only thing that they're pushing now is endorsements, ticket sales, and then obviously breaking records in arenas and attendance. What are we doing with the character development? What are we doing with the superstars? I don't know. Maybe I'm just going off a leash. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm over analyzing, or maybe I just had a bad day. I do not flipping know. You guys let me know down below. Comment, subscribe, share the video. Let's interact, and it's all on social media platforms. Simon Says Wrestling. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok. It's on X. And let's just keep interacting, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're talking. Now we're seriously talking about WWE. Where are we going?